Well, hello there, guys and gals. We're still doing rustang repair. And yesterday we had some really fun bolts to get to. And well, I'll just show you. Yep, we got the rear end down. And why? Well, because we have to do some frame repair. You see that bright orange spot over there? Yep, we had more holage. But we had to get these guys out. You know, these front spring bolts. And as you can tell, the original bolt for some reason was like mated for life to this collar. Gee, I don't know why. They've only been together since, 1966. So yeah, we junkyarded the rear end, which means we cut the emergency brake off of it, cut the shocks off of it. But, and cut them bolts out of it. We actually replaced the rear shackles, so that was easy. They are still new and down here. We've had to do a lot more frame repair than what we thought we was going to have to. I kind of forget where I stopped recording at. So I kind of forgot where I stopped recording. This thing just stopped and restarted for some reason. Weird. Anyway, so if you missed it, we put the rear frame section in because this was Gandhi. I don't know if I showed you guys or not. If I did, maybe I'll edit this out. Maybe I won't. I don't know. But we're starting to get we got 50 cents worth of rusty pieces out here and a blowed up plasma cutter. As you can see, these things are, they were done, just to say the least bit. But now we're into taking and cutting little pieces of frame out that's gone, like this feller, and we're fitting him in. We're taking all of the bad metal out. You do it with a hammer, you can tell where your bad metal is, or you can cut, and if it cuts like paper, probably got a bad spot. See how we're doing that? And let me tell you guys and gals, this is a correct repair for this. Honestly, I probably should have replaced this right side, the full arm. Now that I'm this deep into it, I didn't know it was this bad until I removed this. I really had no idea. That's a new one on me. So anyway, we're going to complete the repair of this frame. And like I say, I didn't know it was this bad. I actually took weld and filled in all this. I got a plate made for this. It was a lot worse than what I thought. I didn't know. Word to the wise, if you don't know how long something's been sitting and you're able, pull the car out of the weeds and just look at it. Just look at it. We are going to be going with a thicker rubberized undercoating that was close to the original. Look at this stuff. Honestly, this stuff here is probably what saved most of the car. So we're absolutely going to be doing that, and we're probably honestly going to hit it with the Pour 15. I'm a huge fan of Pour 15. It does save these things, absolutely. So we'll probably Pour 15 it and then get some sort of rubberized coating once we get the floors done and the framework done, and it looks like a car again. So it kind of is what it is. Without further ado, I'm going to finish this framework, and we're going to temporarily throw this rear end back up in it, because yet we have the other car sitting out there that we have to, get the rear end out of it, the motor, the trans, yada, yada, yada. But we also have to fix it to where it's no longer has that little slight hesitant miss. Anyway, I will recommend this. If you have your car on a lift, get these jacks. See how this guy's not really doing nothing? This car, I'm pretty sure, has like no weight on the rear of it right now at all. But I have one up front as well. So get you 2 of them. That way, so if you're teetering back and forth, your car's not teetering back and forth going to kill you. You know? Because it kind of seems like it's important to live if you're going to do these things. And I also have this on the pinch weld. That way so I can repair this frame. That's another thing to mention. Make sure you're not, you know, doing all that. A flapper wheel with the little, and I've lost mine. That's cool. Anyway, hopefully, there they are. So you can get these at the Harbinese Freight, O'Reilly's. And, you know, I got this little deal at Harbinese Freight for like, I don't know, 20, 30 bucks or something. And that will help take down your not so gooder welds and make them pretty well flush. Now, since this car is never going to be a show car for me myself, I just want it solid. I want it solid to where if I nail it, I ain't going to worry about the rear end twisting the frame and that kind of good stuff, you know. We are putting a 302 in it, I'm just saying. Stock one. About 215, 220 ponies. Anything could happen. I mean, it's a lightweight car, so, you know, very light with all this metal out of it. Anyway, guys, I've been talking too much, but it's free. I'm not charging. Someone get busy, and we'll see what the end result looks like. Sound good? I'm gonna get to work. So I was just thinking about some stuff, and I've never showed you guys how I'm making my patterns, have I? Nope. So, right, wrong, or indifferent, this is how I've been making them, and it's been working. No measurements required. We got 99-cent Harbinese Freight magnets. So we just get a blank piece of paper. This is after I've churched it up a little bit. And we put it to where we want it. Then we just take these magnets and go put one there, one at the end, and we draw around what we want. Now, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but magnets are great. Those are a lot better than the actual welding magnets. I don't know why, but they are. So for this patch here, I just put it up there, and I made it tight, don't get me wrong. I made the paper tight, and then I just kind of pushed the marker all the way around. There was very little trimming to do after that. And then, like I said, I bring it over to my workstation that's not cluttered. Put it on this piece of paper, or on this piece of metal here. Cut it out with this knife, and then remark it on the metal. Then, use the wheel of death, cut him out in the vise. Bada boom, bada bang, da bang. You got a piece of metal. And you're going to see that you have very, 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 very little waste. I have wasted like next to no metal doing it this way. Now, whenever I get to do the front bumper, the valance panel, we're going to be using cardboard. And the reason why is we want to actually see how it's going to look. Like we'll be taping, you know, stuff and making, yeah, we're going to redo this whole thing. So that being said, we might end up replacing that valance. It's kind of, she's may have seen her better days. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe we'll just, yeah, you know what? The more I look at it, the more non-gooder she is. And you know what? That thing right there has weight on it. So I'm really, really glad that I put that right there on the front frame. Even though the front frame is shot and been professionally welded. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Probably not. You're just going to have to trust the fella whenever I tell you it's really nice. Nope. Looks like a death trap. So, anyway, I just want to show you guys that. And also, if you're doing these parts, like in the frame here, I've actually been taking some rust treatment and some of this stuff as well, neutralizer, and spraying back into the frame where I can't see. You know, like down in there and back this way and through that, you know, hole there. And, you know, we've been rebuilding on it and it just looks amazing. Or not. But that's how I've been making my patterns. I've also been using weld through primer because on the backside of this brand new bare metal, you know, that's the stuff I got from Amazonian site. Get like 6 of them for 60 bucks or something. At least they were. Anyway, so that's, I mean, you're wanting this, you're replacing bad metal. Why in the world would you want to put untreated metal? These things are going to rust anyway again. Prevent it as much as you can. And it has to be something you can weld through because you're welding on it. Now the backside of this is fully covered. It's under warranty. You know what I'm saying? She's more gooder. But anyway, I just want to run that through. I've been getting some questions about it, so that's personally how I do it. How do you guys do it? You do it with cardboard? You wing it? You actually measure? I don't know. This is just the way I'm doing it because I'm definitely not a professional. And this is my first frame repair. And yeah, it's not going to be my last. I don't mind it now. Metal fab work's actually pretty fun. And another little tidbit, little body hammers. These things are just, they can make, you can wrap a piece of metal around an egg, as my friend Delmer says, over at Herd Main's Garage. Stinking birds, man. Why, what do you all want? Second, oh no, I got 2. Why did you follow him? He don't know what he's doing. Well, this is 3 birds this week in the garage. And they're just like destroying my ceiling. So that's good, because you don't need to hold in heat for winter. It's probably better to let it vent. Anyway, we're going to get cutting on this, patching that, and then that should, I think, wrap up the rear frame, and then we will move, well, not too far, because we're going to slam this sucker back in there. And just for temporary, but we got to push these bushings out with the old air hammer or something. I'm leaning toward the old air hammer because, yep, air hammer it is, and maybe a drill or 3 go around here. And I'd like to just set her on fire with the old torch, but I don't have a torch. So anyway, that'll be next. Or maybe actually wire in for this big plasma cutter, because that would be super nice to have right now. Yep, it would. Anyway, I'm gonna get done with this and then we'll see what's next up front. It's a doozy, I promise you. All right? So I'll be right back at you. Well, kids, right, wrong, or indifferent, we have the frame, what I'm calling done. And like Daddy said, if you're not a welder, you're a grinder. So looks like we got some stuff to make it, you know, more pretty. I took my flapper wheel to it, ground it down flat on the bottom. That way, so there's no obvious, like, oh my goodness, this thing, you know, really had some work. Now we're gonna put a real thick thing of undercoating on it. And, you know, we got her all patched in. And, you know, maybe I should have replaced this whole piece here, because this part was bad, but this part right to, you know, right here in this arch was good. And that's about it on the right side. Hey, lesson learned. I didn't know. I knew it had a little bit of rust behind this plate, but I didn't know it was really weight reduced. I really didn't know. But you know what? The other side is absolutely fine. And, you know, there's nothing that a little bit of rubberized undercoating, you know, all that good stuff. By the way, I pre-drilled a hole in this, and I can see daylight on the other side, so that's a plus. And I'm gonna slowly step it up just to make sure my hole's perfectly aligned. That way, so whenever I go to put this rear end back in momentarily, you know, we can have a bolt go through and Bart will do and shimmy. Anyway, so this is how I did the frame repair. Again, this is, I mean, I could take my time and grind it all down and make it flush just like this, or I can leave it like this. I'm probably going to leave it like this. As you can see, it's been professionally repaired, welded on, but it's all stitched solid. Every single inch of that is stitched together with weld. So I don't feel bad about doing it. I kept the vent hole in the bottom of the frame right there, so I don't feel bad about that. And I treated all the metal underneath this piece of metal behind. Everything got treated. Everything got treated. Now, traditionally, I would like to do a repair like this, where I actually cut it out, fit it, you know, somewhat perfectly, and welded it in. You know, it's time, and what do you want? Me, I want this sucker back on the road. It don't have to be show quality. I want it solid though. I want it safe. You know, people are going to drive this that aren't me. You know what I mean? So I want this sucker as solid as it can be. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make it super solid, super safe, and not have to worry about when anybody gets in the car and says, hey, I want to take the Rustang down the road. Go for it. Have fun. Be careful. You know, that kind of thing. I wish you luck, because, you know, it's the 4-letter F word nobody wants to hear in a shop, and they circle their mistakes. Anyway, so I'm going to knock these out with the old air hammer, hopefully. And we're going to throw the rear end back up in there, but that ends this one. So hopefully this frame repair kind of stuff is hitting home or helping. Maybe you guys got some better suggestions. By all means, I am absolutely, you know, and that stinking bird is still in here. I'll keep my ears open for anything. You know, you guys give me suggestions, I'll listen, I promise you. We do have front frame to do. I'm probably not going to record that, because it's, if you've seen a frame repair, you've probably seen a frame repair. That's my logic on it. Make sure you're using thick enough metal. Don't go grab 22 gauge and wrapping it in there. That's not a good idea. Get something about a 14 gauges, 16, whatever's comparable to your frame at the time. Older cars require thicker metal. You know, the body metal on this is roughly 18 gauge. So, you know, you want to use something a little thicker for the frame then. 14 to 16 ought to be, you know, just fine. But do your own research. Don't go off my word, and you'll be fine with it. And just as I'm saying this, if I can do it, you can do it. I promise you. If you're willing to put in the time, you're willing to, you know, get this stuff done. You're willing to build your own project. So that wraps it up for this. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this helps you, and we'll see you next time here on Right Turn Garage TV. Y'all have a great one.